No one wanted to give me a chance back then.
I had a better morning today than yesterday, which is good because yesterday I think I was stressing a lot over my content and everything. I was getting into the idea now to not post 20 times a day, and now I started doing 2 times a day, which on the first day did alright. My views were alright, and I think as well I did delete all my low quality videos and just really focus on producing high quality videos that actually show my personality and me. I think that's the only way I'm going to grow, because the whole point of this is to show me. I don't care about the stuff around me, like things I'm doing. A lot of college wrestlers will say, like, for example, like what school they're wrestling at, and that would be like the whole identity. So let's say, for example, they're wrestling at like the University of Ohio, for example. I don't think a University of Ohio wrestler is really making content. They probably got bigger stuff to do, but let's say, for example, they're doing that. Should do that a little bit there, yeah. So they're making content, for example. After their time's up, because they're going to be most of them probably just like guys that are just showing off their wrestling and stuff like that, and making memes of their wrestling, because they got to be safe with their content. A lot of coaches as well watch their stuff, and you can't be saying any I don't know, stuff like that. I have no restrictions because no one knows about this. I mean, a lot of people probably saw this, and I don't really know what they're thinking still to this day. It's sick. Maybe they think I might be a big thing. Maybe they're shocked, because here's the thing I want to talk about today. I was thinking more. I'm probably not going to just keep on talking about my day, and probably talk about insights on more stuff I've seen in the whole college stuff and everything. But today I want to talk about is I'm going to class right now, my college right now, and what I really want to talk about is how a lot of high school athletes adjust to college. How to do that, because I've done it. I gotta drink some water or something, maybe, because I'm so dehydrated right now. I may pull up to the side, maybe something like that. Water is really important for athletes to drink. So. Just in general, I didn't start off my day with any water, so my throat was very dry and everything. But the thing is with a lot of athletes when they adjust to college is that a lot of the experience, how I adjusted. Let's say, for example, in my senior year, things didn't go good for me. I had a lot of absence. I missed over 50, 60 days. I had a lot of health issues. My whole thing went downhill from there, and not really anyone wanted to take a chance on me. I'll be honest. I emailed a couple. I did it late, so I was going into the recruiting process after the season was over. And I'll tell you why I did this. Because in my junior year, I got injured after the first tournament. I made semifinals. Well, I got injured in the quarterfinals. I broke my I think bibby or something like that, in my leg or something like that. And I threw the counters back. It was very sick. I was on top. I was on top. He stood up and everything. I couldn't really do anything. I was really out of it at this point, but I was still winning 6-2. But yeah, I broke. What happened was he shot on me, and I tried to get him into a crackdown position, tried to make sure he didn't get the takedown, something like that. And my leg sort of I don't know exactly what happened to it, but got into a weird position, and it snapped or something. So I couldn't really get up for a minute. And my coach was saying, "Oh, do you want to just forfeit this match or something like that?" And I'm like, "I'm not forfeiting." I got back up. I'm like, "I'm good." I'm like, "Just give me they said, if you don't get up in the next minute, you're gonna have to forfeit the match." I'm like, "Give me 50 seconds, and I'll get up and I'll do it." And I threw the counters back. I had the video of it. It wasn't exactly a thrown on his back. It was more I threw myself on my back, and then I rolled over and got hit. So it was sort of like a lat drop, but it was a weird lat drop. It was I still technically threw the counters back, but I broke my leg, which is sick. So yeah, but afterwards I was out till the end of December, which was a quick recovery, which I wasn't fully recovered. I was just saying it so I can be able to wrestle. I didn't wrestle well in the first tournament back. I only wrestled for half a practice as well. My leg was hurting so badly, so I actually left halfway. I had a dentist appointment as well, but still, I had that motive to leave early because my leg was hurting. So I only practiced half a day before the actual tournament. I wasn't feeling good. I lost a match to a kid that I shouldn't have lost to. He wasn't good. And I also wrestled a really good kid. A kid that, it was weird. He was cutting from 190, very lean and everything. And now he wrestles 174 in college. So I don't know what that's about. There's a lot of stuff. Like, he was very strong for his age. Still to this day, I think I'm stronger than him now, but still. Very strong for his age. A little weird how he randomly in college, where you're supposed to even get stronger, you decrease in strength. I don't know what that's about. So basically, in my senior year, I didn't start at the end of junior year because I didn't really have a lot of match footage. Because I got injured again, and I missed my postseason. So I actually I probably should have went there. I messed up a little bit. Oh my god, I got scared there for a second. Yeah, that was a little dangerous. But yeah, so basically what ended up happening, I didn't get a lot of matches in my junior year, so I ended up waiting for the recruitment process after the senior year. So I started getting a couple off-season tournaments, getting myself in, got into more clubs. I joined 2 extra wrestling clubs alongside of my off-season practices. I used to just go to off-season practices, but I decided to go to a club my senior year. There wasn't really a lot of clubs in my area back then. They started, they have a lot more now compared to, a lot more access as well, a lot more visibility compared to before. You didn't really hear a lot about clubs. A lot of kids didn't really go to as much. I think there was really just one dominant club in my area, which I think people still go to, but not as much as they used to. Hopefully this camera's well. I'm just getting a little worried with the camera sometimes, but. So let me talk about now how a lot of people adjust to it. So after my high school ended, I was very happy. I didn't have a good high school senior year. It was pretty bad. I lost a lot of friends because I was absent over 60 times. I actually dirty bulked in my senior year. I wrestled 190, but I was like 175-ish. I was actually I missed weight certs at 170, so I actually had to end up wrestling 190, and I ended up my senior year bulking up to 215 because that's when I started getting to lifting, and I really wanted to change those high numbers, so I wanted to bulk up, and just for in general in the future for wrestling. And in general, 215 was more spot where I thought I could get more opportunities. Of course, a lot of stuff happened that year as well in terms of the whole things that happened in the room, which didn't go well. So basically, I didn't have the best senior year. My wrestling season was not good. I actually didn't wrestle the full season. I missed my majority of my senior year. I missed my senior night. I missed a lot of stuff. But see, when I got out of high school, I was actually sort of more excited because I also had a missing tooth for most of my senior year. I had my tooth knocked out in July in the summertime. So when I came to senior year, I was also very conscious about that. So overall, I lost a lot of my image and everything like that. I had what you can call a big lowdown in your senior year. It's all of a sudden out of it, and everyone thought I just fell off, and I maybe got burnt out or something like that, because I was always that guy who everyone would view as like a good athlete, a good person, everything like that. Probably because I looked better than most. But anyways, how a lot of people adjust to it is as soon as a lot of people leave high school in the beginning, of course they're excited. They're finally free off into the real world. For me, I wasn't excited. I did end up crying the last day of school because it's a new chapter. It's like everything that you knew, everything that you've done throughout your whole life. Like I was like always appreciative of having the opportunity to even go to school, because I didn't always have that opportunity to go to an actual school. So for me, I had to fight a lot to get there, so I was always more appreciative of it. And so just losing it, even though I didn't like a lot of people my senior year, towards the last couple months of your senior year, usually everyone starts to get closer together and everything like that. I didn't get closer with everybody because I was just so out of it. I really think that some people might have just started making fun of me actually behind my back or stuff like that. Maybe they viewed me in a certain way. Maybe they talked about me in a bad way, which was weird because I was always that guy who was always seen as above everyone else in terms of like the social hierarchy. The social hierarchy doesn't even matter in high school. You know, none of that stuff matters. In my senior year, I kind of lost a lot of friends, a lot of people like that. So for me, after high school, like I was just losing like. But the last 3 months, I was like really close to a lot of the underclassmen, a lot of the other people. You know, that was the thing. And I just we talked like all the time. We would like have so much fun the last couple months because no one cared anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's giving me a little bit of like a feeling like I don't really look at high school too well, except those last couple months. You know, a lot of other stuff was going on as well, which was good. Everything was amazing the last like 3 months of high school. That's the only time in high school I really miss, those last 3 months. Those times were actually like the best times in my in high school. And then towards the end, that's where I got into college for wrestling, and that's when that's when I started getting you know, seen as more. Like at the time, I was the only wrestler in college. The only wrestler out of high school that's actually like current. Like I was the only current college wrestler in that school. So I was seen as a lot higher than everybody, but I didn't really care too much. I was still down. I still had a lot to prove. You know, I had a bad senior year. A lot of people wrote me off. You really don't know truly how much people actually wrote me off my senior year. Like how much people genuinely gave up on me. Said this guy's got no chance. He's not gonna do anything. I was wrestling and he won't do on me, so and they're all watching now, so that got a lot of eyes on me posting that one day, just me on the live broadcast with the whole team names and everything. That was sick, being able to do that, and you know, having a whole atmosphere, being able to experience that whole thing. But the way I started off in college isn't the way a lot of people start in college. So a lot of people, they go to college after high school. Like let's say, for example, a lot of athletes, for example, when they're done with high school, they're usually at high school they're seen as one of the best athletes in their school and everything. Their team captain and everything like that. So when they go off to college, they enter preseason and they immediately see that these coaches do not care about them as much. They might not even know their actual name or something like that. And they really have to like really fight to even be recognized. You know, every single practice is like maybe like a lot like more intense than their actual matches in high school. Like their maybe like baseball matches, lacrosse matches, whatever it is. And they quickly realize that a lot of this college sports is a lot about politics. It's about who you know, the connections you have. They're not gonna throw some random kid that doesn't talk to anybody into the lineup. They're just not. It doesn't matter how talented. Unless you're like some insane talent, they're not gonna do it. It's really all about connections, stuff like that in college for a lot of other sports, including wrestling. But for me, I think I had more. I didn't start off the best either. Like a lot of athletes usually start off in preseason and stuff like that. In my preseason, when I first came into practice, I didn't really know what to do. I was very shy. Everyone else knew each other. Everyone else was like friends with each other. I didn't know anybody, so I was just on the floor just stretching for a bit. My knee was still hurting. I wanted to fight through it just to come to preseason for a little bit, and he like told me, he's like, go home, because like I was just sitting on the floor. And like then I got up after, started doing a little bit of stuff, and it was like more like a lifting sort of thing first day, which is a little weird, but got into it. Then I started going to my first practices. My first practice I was wrestling with a group of 3 actually. It was a very crowded room back then, and I was bleeding. I think halfway through the practice, my face was bleeding, so I had to like go into the football. They were in a meeting. I came into the room, got some napkins, so like asking me if I was alright. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm like, I just got some blood, so I had to cover up my blood and everything like that. And that was an issue back then. My face would have this stuff on my face, and I used to bleed from there. So I got rid of that now. I fixed it all, but back then I used to bleed a lot from my face. So basically for me, when I first came to college, I didn't even go to the first dual meet. We had our first tournament and everything. They didn't want to take me because the thing about college is that it costs money to take the athlete to the rooms and stuff like that. So they're not gonna spend money on a kid that they think is gonna go 0-2 and do nothing and bring their team down with team points and everything like that. I mean, not really, but like, yeah, like they don't want to take somebody that's just gonna go 0-2. So they won't take a lot of guys and stuff like that. A lot of athletes realize that really quickly. I saw that and I'm like, I should have just gone somewhere else. I was in my parking lot in college and I was like, very upset. I was outside in the college, very upset. And I'm like, is this sport even worth it? I had to meditate for a bit. Meditation is something that helped me a lot. I just got really into it when I started going to college. And yeah, for me, that was the start for me. I didn't start off very good. I had to fight for my place in general. And then, eventually I started wrestling 184. Had a first tournament, performed well. And then I got the spot at 197. I really impressed there. I wrestled a kid that was, I think, 9th in the country at the D2 level. I wrestled against another guy who was in national stuff like that. I had a close match with him. I ended up getting pinned because I tried to in a crackdown position, tried to like roll him, I don't know really what I was trying to do. The thing is, I was cutting like 6 pounds before the tournament, so I was very out of it. And I also beat a junior as well. I beat him like 9-3, I think 8-3. And yeah, it was just most of all the escapes he got, I let him up. I wasn't really good on top in my beginning. I'm really good now, I think, compared to last year. But that's how I did it. I think if I didn't have that good tournament, you probably would be seeing this, and I probably wouldn't be seen as anything. I mean, I had that match, so I mean, that doesn't matter. If I just had a random bracket with some random guys and I did bad, I wouldn't really be here. They wouldn't take me anywhere. They would just forfeit the matches, or they would have some other guy wrestling there. But that's something that, for me, that was how I saw it. So they didn't care about me until I actually started doing well. They didn't know my name. They actually did not know my name for most of the season. They did not know my name. Everything like that. And that's something that you're going to learn in college. These guys, unless you actually like do well, you have some sort of like thing, stuff like that, they don't really care about you. Alright. That's harsh, but that is true. It's something a lot of athletes used to say. And a lot of athletes after high school. See, in high school, you're around everybody. You're like always around people. So naturally, if you don't talk to everybody, like you don't like enjoy this place that you're stuck in, it's gonna suck. So a lot of people talk to people not because they like them, but because they're forced to. So like in high school, you can be like weird, and people will talk to you. Like you don't have to have the best personality, but people will talk to you because you're stuck there, and you're the only person that you can talk to. But in college, like if you're like weird and like I don't know, you have like bad habits and like you do weird stuff, no one's gonna talk to you. No one wants to talk to anybody regardless. They just want to go to their classes, do school, and leave. I don't exactly like this whole structure and everything like that. I maybe think I'm in the wrong area, maybe something like that. But I think it might be like this for a lot of colleges in general. But for me, that's something that I learned, that after high school, I am really talking to much people. Like just in general, as well, I cut off a lot of people. I got rid of a ton of people because a lot of people in high school, like, you're gonna be around bad people as well. And I was around a lot of people that weren't the greatest in high school. Hopefully, I'm really worried about this thing's messed up right now. Yeah, so that was the thing that, for me, that's what my big jump from high school was, being away from these bad people. A lot of people in high school, like, aren't the best role models, and I shouldn't be around those type of people. So after high school, I really stayed away from a lot of those people. And I think as well, that's something that helped improve my mindset, like just being away from those bad people that would do bad stuff, and I would just see a lot of it, hear a lot of it. So it made me think like, oh, is everyone doing this and stuff like that? Like, is everyone this bad? So after high school, I done a ton of meditation. I started meditating a lot. I started lifting more, getting really into it, improving myself more. So really on my journey of just improving myself every day. And that's for me how high school was for me, like how adjusting to high school was for me. It was like a benefit for me almost. Like I proved myself a lot after high school, and I dropped some more weight. I look way better now compared to high school. People see me after high school. Well, after my senior year. So after my senior year, people see me and they're like, "Where did this guy come from?" You know. They probably don't think that, but they probably think like something like he does look a lot better now. He is doing a lot better. No one from my high school is doing what I'm doing right now, and I still got 4 years left. So, because yeah, it's so political, the college thing, and my high school doesn't have any connections really to college coaches. Like they're not a big college, they're not a big high school, so they're not going to be seen as like some sort of like kid that they're going to want to put in because they don't have great competition. I think for me, I'm the exception because I just work really hard. A lot of coaches love that about me as well. Like every single time in the sprints and everything like that, I never get beaten. That's something that I wanted to do. Even back then when I wasn't being put in, I didn't care. I wanted to make sure they don't want to put me in. All right, fine. I'm going to make sure that none of their starters are ever beating me in a sprint. None of their starters are ever going to do more push-ups than me. After every single practice, I'm going to do some more sprints, some more push-ups, more sprawls, more shots, more like drilling with my partner. Make sure I'm going to outwork everyone else and be the hardest worker. Sure, I'm not the best, but I'll be the hardest worker. And I don't care if I'm put in or not. I'll work harder than all these guys, and I'll have that feeling that, I worked harder than everybody else. I don't care about if I win or lose. If I work harder than the other guy, that's a win for me. And I can use that same drive that I have for wrestling, and I can apply it to anything else in my life and benefit myself. So that was my drive in the beginning, and every single time you would go out of bounds in the matches, I would instantly sprint to the circle. I would always want to be the hardest worker, be the hardest guy, always show that I'm into these matches, always be aggressive, not backing up and stuff like that. And just overall just going after it every single day, not ever showing fear. That's something that I've done a lot. I never got comfortable. I never had any coaches say that, you're the man, you're this, you're that. I had that self-belief, but no one else had it. I think for me, that's what helped me thrive, having the inner belief that I can do it, that I don't need anybody telling me that I can do it. I can just do it. And yeah, last season I did it, and this season I had a big jump. This offseason I had a big jump. I'm looking forward to being able to fully document this and show all my emotions, all my feelings. You can see everything. You can see my thoughts. You can see the way I'm thinking. I'm basically recording every single time I'm out. Every single time, I'm not even just sitting in my room. I basically record it, so I can see all of it, and everyone else can see it, and hopefully we can look back and everyone can be like, oh wait, look, that was all of his thoughts and everything before he did that. That was everything. And I can get more, maybe on the way back, I'm getting into my classes now, so maybe on the way back I'll get more into the social part and more about how people mentally adjust to it, because I was just talking about the way athletes adjust to it, because that's how I adjusted to it. So I was talking about how I adjusted really to it, because I'm almost there. I have a couple minutes left, so I can talk a little more about it, because you'll see a lot of especially one of the big athletes, one of the best athletes in their school, and the guy who's seen as high. You'll see this a lot, and it's happened a lot. Some of these high school guys, they'll have crazy egos and stuff like that. They'll be the best football player, the best basketball player, the best lacrosse player in their school. And then when they graduate high school and they go to college and they do their sport, they're just another person. Because let's say, for example, you get recruited onto this college team. There's at least 40 other guys that they recruited that's just like you. Plus, they're older than you, so they have more experience at the college level. If it's football or something like that, they have more strength than you because they've been in that strength program for more, and they have that ability to move the way they do because they've been more explosive and stuff like that because they've been in that strength program. So a lot of people, when they go to college, they quickly realize that they're just a small fish. They ain't all that. And that's why I was extremely humble, because I realized when I'm going to college that, I'm not going to be this big dog. I'm going to be a little fish. And I stayed humble. I never one time had attitude. Not exactly. I got a little angry sometimes, you know, in practice in the beginning when I was disrespected. I did have a little bit of anger bit, and I don't think I've shown it too much, but yeah. Another thing with me, I had like coaches like would often say like, oh, you have to shoot like this, shoot like that, shoot like this, shoot like that. Really emphasize everything I was doing. And they didn't do it for a lot of guys. Like if I missed a sprint, they would yell at me for missing a sprint. And I'm like, why are they always going after me? Like, why does it have to be always me? I'm like, all these other guys aren't doing it. If I ever did, I didn't really miss it a lot, but some days I was exhausted. You know, I didn't want to do it. Yeah, everyone's gonna have those days, but those days when you actually push through it, those are the days that actually matter the most. They really do, because if you can push through it when you're tired and everything like that, and you don't want to do it, let's say in a match, like you're tired and everything, you're exhausted, and you don't want to do it. That's the push that you need to push through it. Like that's where it comes from. But when you didn't want to do it in practice, you know. So those days are actually the most important days for you in general. And yeah, so that was. I'm going to class right now. I'll let you know about how I'll talk about more of the mental side, the more of the thoughts and stuff that more athletes go to. I'm just talking about really the more of the athletic part really, and more about their whole thing. But I can talk more later about the whole. I'll just let this go. Because it's a lot. Like there's a lot of stuff that goes into this and everything like that. It's a really deep thing. I'm grateful. I'm always just thankful for just to be able to not have this pressure on me. I do have sort of pressure. I don't care about pressure. I'm gonna be honest. I do not care. If they're not giving me money or anything like that, they're not like doing anything to me physically, like anything like that. I missed something. Oh well, I'm getting late anyways. Like if they're not benefiting me or anything like that, or like they're not even in my face. They're just on my I don't know, like online and stuff like that. So no one's actually watched. Like I haven't really talked to a lot of people in person, so I don't feel that pressure in person. You know, I'm just doing the best I can, and that's why I don't feel pressure. I'm doing the best I possibly can, and if I fail, so what? I did the best I could. You know, I don't care about the wins and losses. If I do the best I possibly can and I lose, well, so be it. You know, it doesn't matter if you lose and you put your absolute hardest in. Doesn't matter. Some people say, "Oh, you need to win. You need to win this title. If you don't win the title, but you put your absolute best, it's gonna hurt. Let's be honest. It's gonna be hurt. It's gonna hurt. Like you not getting the title, but if you actually put your hardest in, you work every single day. You outwork everybody. That person that you became while you worked your hardest is gonna be much more beneficial, much better than just if you won that title and like didn't put in as much work." So I'm gonna go to class right now. So yeah, just got done with my classes right now, and you know what? I'm gonna tell you something right now that I've noticed that, you know, in college you pay for these classes, but like when you get released early or your class gets canceled, you're so happy about it. I don't know exactly. I feel like the whole point of these college classes and everything, just for the degree and just to, like pass the exam and stuff like that. No one cares about the classes. At least for me. There's probably some dude that's like trying to answer all the questions correctly, which good on him if he wants to do that. I don't really see the point. I don't really see much of a point, but if that's his thing, then yeah. I mean, I have 4.0 GPA doing this, so I might know a thing or two about doing this. So if he wants to do that, he can do it. Yeah, today in class, I'm really honest, I was not paying attention at all. I was really focused on my he did not stop at the stop sign. Oh my god, that was a little scary, that one. I should have waited. Oh well. Alright, yeah, I got it there. So, yeah, in class today, I wasn't really paying attention too much. I was really focused on my content because it's actually doing surprisingly well for first day back of doing 2X. I got back on track. I wasn't expecting to be this high, so I was doing a little research there, focusing on my other classes on my computer. I will be honest, I wasn't focusing today because I didn't want to do math. I'll be honest. And also, our midterm got canceled, so the only thing that matters now is the actual final exam. I didn't take the first midterm. I had a prescription and everything, so I was able to get away with that because I definitely was sick. I definitely wasn't faking, but I actually was sick that time. So I had a prescription and everything, and I was able to fully, be able to pass that class. I mean, be able to avoid that exam. So I actually haven't taken any midterms in math. I'm only taking the final. I don't know exactly if I get the full credit for the midterm. I have no idea exactly how they're doing it. If I do get full credit for the midterm, and then there's this homework that's worth 30%, so I'll probably get a 28% on that, and I get, let's say for example, this 30%. No, the homework is now 40%. I think it is, or 30. So I basically passed math without even doing anything. Just passing. I mean, I'm obviously gonna get a higher grade than just passing, but I'm saying that either way. So yeah, basically that was for me. Here's what happened though in class today. While I wasn't focusing really in class, this kid, like the kid that always like talks and everything, he was I don't know, he said a curse word or something like that, and the teacher's like, that's not an exponent. I don't know, just the way he said it, and like the guy's like, I don't know, dude, it's just funny, like the way he said it and everything. I'm just holding my laughter. I'm telling you, I have to lock in for these classes because like that guy, that one guy, not the teacher, I'm talking about the kid as well. Like, it's just so fun. I have to lock in. Like I have to like, when I'm about to like laugh or something, I had to think of the most darkest things in the world, just to not hold the laugh, like just to be able to hold the laughing, because like I don't want to. I gotta act like a side character. I gotta act like an NPC when I'm here. I have to stay quiet. I have to act like I don't look at anybody in the eyes. I mean, not really. I just look forward. I don't look down. Looking down is a sign of weakness. You don't want to look down. You want to look forward. You want to have your shoulders up and everything, showing that you're confident, but being an NPC. That's my college life right now, because I'm so focused on this whole content and this whole business and everything, just stressing over everything. Not stressing anymore. I was stressing with the 20x. You can't have a social life or anything when you're posting 20 times a day. But now, I'm not posting 20 times a day. I'm only posting 2 times a day, and the long form. So now I have a lot more freedom. I'll probably do a lot more meditation now. I have a lot more. I don't have to focus every single minute on, I gotta upload this and this. So yeah, overall, that was for me. That was what happened in my class. I'll talk about now about the mental side of what happens with athletes. I was talking about the performance and everything like that, but mentally, what happens is in high school, throughout your 4 years, your freshman year, for example, or sometimes kids get pulled up when they're 8th graders. But let's say, for example, you're a freshman and you make varsity. Now you're like the only kid there. Since your freshman year, you're put on this high pedestal that you're gonna do like some big things in your sport. And that's just saying you go to a normal high school. Let's say, for example, you go to a private high school, like a Catholic high school. That's a high level one. We have a one in our area, St. Anthony's, which is a really high level high school. They're one of the best lacrosse teams in the country in the men's and women's side. Overall, all their sports besides wrestling, they're good. They don't have a good wrestling team, I think, at least. I think they had a good kid this year, I think. But besides that, they don't usually have that good kids there. So, what do you call it? Yeah, so the thing is with them is, let's say, for example, you're a freshman on your team, and you're put up on this high pedestal. Like, you're seen as this guy who's going to do big things. Throughout your 4 years in high school, your freshman year, your sophomore year, you're seen as big potential. Your junior and senior year, you're seen as like the big guy, like the best guy in your area, the best guy in your school. And throughout these 4 years in high school, you have this high image of yourself. You built this high image of yourself. Like, you're put on this high pedestal, and like you're like thinking that you're unstoppable. Like, you can do anything really. Like, you're gonna make the league, go pro, whatever it is. Be the big guy in your area. You're known as the big athlete in your area. And it's sick, being able to really do anything. You get invited to like almost anywhere you can go, which, that's cool. I don't go anywhere really. I don't like to do a lot of stuff. I don't like to, engage in that type of stuff. I really just focus on improving myself. And whenever I'm doing something that's not improving myself, I feel off. I don't like it. I get really upset. You know, if I'm even like at a sporting event, I don't like watching another person. I want to be the other person. You know what I'm saying? I want to be that person that like is in that arena, like in that stadium. I don't want to be the guy who's watching it. And like when I'm there, like when I'm in the matches and stuff like that, I don't feel nervous. Like other people watching me, I don't feel nervous in the slightest. I don't even get nervous before the matches, which might be a little bit of a bad thing. Because when you get nervous, like you can like create that like, you know, like you can like have that almost like feeling of like more like fear and more like putting this as a high event maybe. But for me, I don't even view it as a high event. I just view it as like it's just another match. You know, that's the thing for me. If I view these matches as lower and everything like that and not as a big deal, I perform well. You see, like with most guys, like when they put a event as a big thing, they usually perform worse. What is this guy doing? Is he jogging on the road? Oh no. Yeah, I have no idea what he was doing. Maybe I don't know what he was doing, but yeah, but like a lot of these guys, like I don't put things as a big event. Like for example, my matches, I don't view them as like a big thing. If I lose, so what? And I'm not saying that I'm not like I don't care. I'm saying that like it's like a way for me to like handle my nerves and like be more confident. I can go for shots more. Be like, all right, so if he blocks it, so what? I'll make sure that he doesn't take it. Let's say for example, I get into a shot. For example, if it's not just shooting and taking him down. First, you gotta grab the leg, be able to grab the leg. Once you grab the leg, the next fight is keep the leg. You gotta fight to keep the leg. Then the next fight you gotta do is your position. I'm a little out of it. Position. You gotta make sure that you're in a position where he can't like take you down. Like he can't like sprawl on you hard. Then the next fight you gotta do is be able to fully take him down. And once you fully take him down, you want to make sure you bring him onto the mat into a position where you can fully get the takedown. That's 5 fights that you got to go through. So each time when I'm going through it, so first I get into the shot. I make sure I get a good shot. I don't want to get into a bad shot where, he can block it now. And for me, that's where I'm doing it. It's not just one fight where you just take him down. It's 5 different things for me. So I'm fighting every single thing. And that's what I'm focused on. So if I, like, for example, like every single hand fight, let's say, for example, I'm down by 10 points. 10 points. And I take the guy down, for example. Now, in my head, I'm 3-0 right now. And I want to fully pin the guy. Because in my head, I'm winning now. I'm winning the match. Even though he scored 10 points on me, doesn't matter. He wrestled better before. He capitalized off some of my mistakes. And now I'm performing better right now. So overall, that's how I like to view my matches. But in terms of the mental side for athletes, what ends up happening though is when they enter the college, for example, first of all, they're a new person. You know, they're a new person in this area. They don't know anybody. I mean, they might know some people. They might know some of their athletes. You know, some of them that they talk to online and stuff like that. But in general, you don't really know anybody. Most of the guys, when you're coming here, 99% of the people on the campus do not know who you are, unless you're some big 5-star recruit or something like that. Either way, they don't know who you are. You're a random now. You're completely starting off from the bottom. It's like you're in middle school now, and you're like, and the high school athletes, like the big high school athletes that you see, those are how the college seniors look to you. You're just a freshman. You're the middle schooler now, just trying to be seen as someone that they can even take seriously. It's like, for example, a freshman going to college is like a middle schooler, like a 7th grader who was decent in their first year of middle school, who now is in their 8th grade year and now coming to the high school. They didn't get put up on high school. I'm just saying, like, they just come to their practice, for example, and they're trying to be taken as seriously as the high school guys. Sure, they'll have more eyes on them because they're new, but they're not going to be taken as seriously as some senior, and that's how the freshmen are viewed in college as well. They're not viewed as serious. They're more like raw talent. They haven't been exposed to the college environment and stuff like that, so they're viewed as a lot less. And a lot of athletes suffer with that mentally. Like they're not used to being seen as like not caring about anybody because they've been put on such a high pedestal. Everyone's been telling them like this big stuff about them, and the reason why they've been being told this stuff is because it's true. They were big. They were the best. They were great. They were amazing. They were set to do amazing stuff in their area. They were outside their area. That's a whole different area. There's a whole different level to this college stuff that not a lot of people understand. You know, you can be the team captain, the state champ, and stuff like that. I mean, you go to college and you like be put on the red shirt, you know, and that hurts for some people. I wanted to actually red shirt my first season. And my first start of the season, when my season wasn't going well, I went up to the coach and I told him I want a red shirt, you know. I want a red shirt and transfer because I did not want to. I wasn't taken serious then. I let it affect me. I wanted to quit, and I can talk from my experience and say that a lot of athletes then have to focus their whole day on their recovery, on everything. They get less time to hang out with other people. Every single time they hang out with other people doing anything, they feel like they're getting behind, like they're behind everyone else. They're feeling this enormous pressure that if they don't perform now, then it's all over. Because think about it, they've been put on such a high pedestal. Their whole life is about everyone's been telling them that they're amazing at this. So all they know how to do is do their sport. That's their whole personality. They have no personality. They have nothing. Hopefully this camera's not off. I'm always worried about it. So they have no personality now. They have nothing. All they know is their sport. So when they start to perform badly, because their whole personality and everything was about being good at their sport, they have no personality now. And now if they come back in their area, everyone's just going to view them as the football guy, you know? The football guy. Oh, how's your football going? How's this going? And, you know, you got to, like, lie to people and be like, it's decent. It's not anything crazy, you know? I'm doing okay, you know? But you're not doing okay. You're doing terrible. Not terrible. You're still performing. You're still doing better than 99% of the people. 99% of the population. 99.9% of the population. Most people are lazy. Most people don't even have the courage. So a lot of people will start making fun of you and be like, oh, you're doing bad. You're doing this. Oh, you're so bad. But look at who's making fun of you first. They're not doing anything, first of all. They're doing absolutely nothing in their life. And second of all, the thing is, what area even is this? Second of all is that when you're in that environment that you're in, you don't see anybody else. All you're around is all these high people. So in your head, you're thinking that, oh, I'm so behind, I'm doing so bad and everything, because you're always around these people that are doing so well all the time. You know, all these athletes, all these college athletes are doing so well, that look so well, are so much stronger than you. You know, especially as well. Let's say, for example, in football, a big part of football is lifting heavy. For a lot of the positions, I've never done football, but I could say, for example, as well for wrestling, let's say, for example, a lot of wrestling is about lifting heavy. Who can lift heavy? Like, let's say, for example, a dude that lifts 700 pounds. He's gonna most likely beat the guy who deadlifts 500 pounds. If they have similar technique. Let's say the guy who deadlifts 500 pounds, he has slightly better technique. But the dude that deadlifts 700 pounds can, like, block his shots, can, like, shoot better, like, do more better, can be able to hold them better. He's gonna do better. So you'll see, like, with a lot of the younger guys, they'll come in and they're not as strong, and that's something that also will play into their head mentally. I'm seeing other people lift more. You know, when I first started lifting in high school, I saw the other guys who were lifting more, and it made me feel terrible. I'm like, I want to be I want to lift the most in the entire area. Like, I want to be the strongest one in the room. I hated the fact that, and my lifting numbers were low as well. Like, I was benching only 120, 115 for reps. I wasn't always the strongest. Like, that was in my end of junior year. I want you to, like, think about that. Towards the end of my junior year, like April, May time, I was only benching 115 for a couple reps. I remember one time, even after the Regents exam, we had a Regents exam, and I ended up, like, rushing through it. Like, towards the end, I had, like, at least 6 more problems left, and they released a lot of people. They let everyone else go. So what I ended up doing was I wanted to be on I had a bus home. Like, I had to take the bus home, and I wanted to say goodbye to everybody because, you know, that was my last day at school. So I wanted to say goodbye to everybody, but at the same time, I couldn't miss a lift day. So what I ended up doing was I rushed through the exam, and I ended up just like rushing through it, and I ended up failing by 1 point. I failed by 1 point, but I was able to. It got exempt and everything. Like I was able to still pass and everything, but I still failed by 1 point because I decided to run downstairs and lift, and then to try to run after and try to say goodbye to everyone else. So what ended up happening there was I ended up benching 135 for a couple reps. I failed it. The 5th rep, I think I failed it, and I had to like try to squeeze, try to push the bar off me and then like go off of it. So yeah, that was my first time benching 135. So I was sick. I benched it for a couple reps, but then after that, I went outside to say goodbye to everybody, and everyone was gone, and my bus was gone. I missed the bus, so I had to call my parents to pick me up because I missed the bus, and I didn't say goodbye to everyone else. And looking back now, a lot of dudes were weird in high school. I don't know why. For the longest time, I wanted these dudes' approval and stuff like that. I think when I started wrestling more in the off season more, and started really getting to that environment, I really stopped caring about these other people's opinions in high school. I started realizing that all these people are just, all these guys are just losers that just party all the time and just engage in bad stuff, and that's not who I am, and I don't want to be around those people. It's for the longest time, I'm like, these dudes, they're so cool and everything. I want to fit in with them, I want to be invited to this stuff. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, these dudes aren't even slightly even cool at all. These dudes are weird, These dudes are I'm trying to be slow in the road. Calm down, dude. It's the school zone, so I don't understand why he's getting so mad. If you want, we can jump. I can stop the car and then we can really seriously talk about this. I think it's because where did he even go? I don't know. He probably got really mad. I don't understand. It's a school zone. Why is he speeding? I don't understand these dudes. But yeah, so the longest time I put these guys on a pedestal, and I realized these dudes are losers. I'm not saying I'm better than them. I'm saying they're losers. They're not people that I should be around. These people aren't benefiting me in any way. And when I started being around more of that wrestling environment, going to more off-season, I was still going to off-season practices, but I'm talking about more club practices and stuff like that, and more tournaments and stuff like that. That's when I started realizing that I could just be around these people. These people are good people at the time. Nowadays, I'm not sure exactly what's going on at my old school. I'm not sure exactly the best role models to be around. But back then, they were good role models. Back then, they're people that I should be around because they helped me a lot. They benefited me a lot, and that's why I kept going for wrestling. That's why I would have stopped if they were all just bad kids that just were doing bad stuff. But back then, these guys were all leaders and stuff. They were people that you can generally look up to. All these guys, And, I wasn't that my senior year. I'll be honest. Not because I was bad, because I was in such a low point in my life that I wasn't really viewed as someone high. I was really struggling at one point. I had even got taken down by a kid who was all county, which in my county is really good, but still, I got taken down by him, and I was just really upset about it. I still pinned him and everything at the end of the day, but still, in that match, everyone was wondering, what's even going on? How did you just get taken down by this guy? Because I was just trying to latch off him. I didn't know he was even all county, so I was literally trying to just latch off and mess around with him. I don't even know what I was doing, but literally, I'm not even joking. I was literally just messing around. I was not taking it serious at all because I really thought he was really this bad. And when he took me down, I was really upset about it. I still pinned him, but I was really upset about it. I was crying on the bus, almost crying on the bus home because I was really upset about it. And overall, at that point, that was the lowest point in my wrestling career as well. I think probably, even though I pinned an all county kid, it's still the lowest moment in my life. So in my wrestling career, but yeah, that's the thing with me. When I'm being around these people, helped me a lot. It helped me improve myself because you don't want to be around these people that are just bringing you down. They say a lot. Some people will be oh, I can be around these people, but I won't actually engage in their stuff. But it's not. You can't really do that because the thing is, all their actions, everything they do, it's plays into your mind. That's why with these college athletes, they'll the coaches will keep them around their athletes a lot. Like, they'll make sure like they're around their athletes a lot because they want them to be around people that are like focused, like on like that have the same goals as them, and make sure that they're not distracted and with bad people. And so that's the thing. What happens with the college athletes is they'll be around these people for so long, and they won't see the outside world. And when they come back home and everything like that, they don't want to go back. You'll see a lot with these some of these college athletes. They'll go there for 1 year, and then they transfer because they do not. First of all, they do not want to go back, and second of all, they want to go to a better school that cares more about them. You'll see sometimes with the wrestling, you'll see sometimes some D1 guys. They'll go D1 and stuff like that for a year, get this hype and everything, but then they won't do good in practice. They won't do good in the matches because they won't even get a lot of matches. The practices, D1 practices are hard. Wrestling ones, and just in general, they're not easy because you gotta perform. If you want to perform to your best, if you want to perform against the best kids in the country, you gotta train like the best guys in the country, and you gotta train hard. So you're doing some crazy stuff in those practices, and a lot of guys, they're going so hard. They have to do morning condition, morning lifts, afternoon practices, film, everything like that. You have to go so hard and everything. And yeah, there's a huge injury risk there. That's why they focus so much on recovery. But yeah, a lot of guys just get like burnt out, and they don't want to. They want to sometimes transfer to a low D3 school sometimes in wrestling, and sometimes they even take the route where they just quit. Just in general, like, the sport isn't for me. I don't like the sport anymore. I'm done with this sport. I don't want to ever come back to it, because that's what happens when you're put on such a high pedestal your whole life, and you all of a sudden don't do as well. But anyways, I haven't told you exactly where I'm going right now. So yesterday, I remember I was talking about the Dollar Tree and everything like that. But today I wanted to go to the Dollar General. I was talking about yesterday. I'm like, does Dollar General place even good or anything like that? So I wanted to see it out right now, just see what it's about. And I was gonna go to another place, but I have some food in my room, so I'm just gonna see what this place is all about right now. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully I can get something. Hopefully I don't come back empty-handed or anything. I don't expect to, but yeah. So I just finished up at the Dollar General. You can see right here, I got this right here. I don't want to get anything too high calorie. I'm not going to eat all this right now. I'm just going to eat 1 or 2 right now. That's why I got this. I went in there, and it's like a supermarket. I thought it was going to be more of like a place where a lot of stuff for $1. There was some stuff for $1. It said right here, this was $1. It was $1.63, so it was not just $1. Maybe it was $1.50, and maybe they charged 13 cents. I don't know. With my current financial situation, it's not the greatest. So it's more of a supermarket for old people. I heard this guy talking about, he has like a supermarket for old people. I heard this guy like talking about that he didn't have like he didn't have a flip phone. Like he had a flip phone. And I'm like, what's this dude talking about? Like, he's like, I don't even have a phone. I have a flip phone. I'm like, what area am I in right now? Like, seriously, I don't know what state this dude's living in, but I don't know. It's a little weird. I mean, he might be also weird, but I don't know. Having a flip phone at this age is some crazy work. I'm just driving all over the place right now. I don't know what's up with that. Yeah, now I'm just gonna head back. I just got my Oreo Kisses. To be honest, I just didn't want to leave it nothing, because I don't know, it'd be a little weird. Hopefully this guy doesn't hit me. Yeah, I didn't want to leave it nothing, but at the same time, maybe should have. There wasn't really anything there. I don't even know what I was trying to get myself into. Why would I even go there? I was looking to get some sort of food. Maybe I'll go to Checkers next time. There's a Checkers right here. I'm just gonna keep trying new places, because there's nothing else to really do. I don't know, really. All I really do is just lift, wrestle, and then go home. And right now I have time to eat whatever now, because now practices are here, so burn a ton of weight so I can really eat whatever. I mean, I'm still like, I'm only 16 pounds overweight, but it sounds a lot, but trust me, it's not. It's only like 2 pounds overweight, really. Hopefully this camera's off. But yeah, here's the thing as well with a lot of athletes as well. For a lot of the football players, they'll have like weight issue. Like they'll have pressure of putting on a ton of weight. So you'll see with a lot of the high school seniors and stuff like that, you'll see the football guys, they'll start to get really fat. Like they'll start to put on a lot of face fat and stuff like that, some of them. Because in football, you need to have more weight. You need to lift more. I'm gonna go. Hopefully I can maybe I'll do this. Yeah, so in football, you need to have more weight because you need to lift more, you need to be more physical. You don't want to get pushed as much. And in college, there's that huge pressure of having to have more weight. You should have more weight in general. In football, you need to have more weight. So a lot of the high school football seniors, they start to gain a ton of weight because of that, and that hurts with their body image first of all because now they feel more fat all the time and more bigger. So, and that's what you see with a lot of the football players after they graduate college and stuff like that. After they're done playing football in college, they'll end up being more bigger. Like they'll be for the rest of their life. Like you'll see like sometimes teachers and stuff like that after they're done coaching, after they're done playing football, they'll get really fat because they're so used to eating as much as possible and trying to gain as much weight as possible that when that football's over, they don't know how to stop. Now they're focused on just continue eating. That's the whole point. Or sometimes you'll see with wrestlers, a lot of them in high school, after they go into college, they get really burnt out with cutting weight, so they don't cut as much weight. But first of all, you can't really do that. You're going to learn really quickly that in college, if you don't cut weight, you're at a huge disadvantage. So a lot of the athletes, they have that pressure of having to keep cutting weight all the time, and that's where burnout comes out as well. Like some freshmen and stuff like that, they don't want to cut 16 pounds every single time. For me, what I do is I drink 2 gallons of water the week before a tournament, and then the last couple of days, you don't eat or drink anything. Which, that's rough. That day's rough, that last day. But what's also rough as well is the sleep before. You don't get good sleep the night before. I don't get any sleep when I cut weight. So I'm staying up the entire time and everything like that. And for me, that's what I really don't like about cutting weight. Being up that entire night before. And yeah, that's the thing with a lot of athletes. A lot of athletes will burn out and they don't want to cut weight anymore. And sometimes they'll go up a weight class and they'll stop wrestling. Like they'll stop wrestling for the season, or they'll just stop wrestling in general. And that's also another thing where a lot of the athletes will drop down to D3 and stuff like that. Because in D3, you don't have that high of a pressure compared to D1. Where D1, like you have to cut or else you're going to struggle. You won't be able to perform. At D3, it's more flexible and everything. Like there's not. And that's why the intensity, like in the practices and like the amount like you do compared to D1, it's crazy. And a lot of athletes in general quickly learn that D1 level, like that hype and everything, it isn't worth it. It really isn't worth it. If you can go and like you'll see a lot of guys as well. Like some of the guys will drop down to NAIA. You'll never see you won't see a lot of high school recruits, like top ones, ever even consider the NAIA in high school, because it's like, what even is that? You know what I'm saying? But in college, once you start wrestling in that college level and stuff like that, or you play at the college level, you understand that these divisions don't matter as long as you can get to a place that has a good program, has a good facilities and everything like that, has a place that actually cares about you, and you continue growing as a person. You can focus on your grades and have a balance your social life and everything, and just be in a good place. You'll quickly realize that this D1 hype isn't really worth it. You gotta understand, not everyone is the best. That's the thing that a lot of people don't understand. D1 is for the best. Not everyone's the best. It's the best of the best. And you'll see some of these walk-ons and stuff like that. They'll walk on to the D1 program because they want that D1 hype. And they quickly realize that they don't fit in. This isn't for them. And it hits them hard. But you have 2 choices. Either you can stick out for 4 years, waste a ton of money, and try to improve, and you can build something off of it, or you can transfer somewhere else where you can get a lot more scholarship money, and you can be in a better place financially and mentally and physically and everything. So yeah, that's what a lot of the guys will struggle sometimes in wrestling. That's what happens. Sometimes in football you struggle with the weight, and that's the thing as well. With football, some guys gain too much weight. I haven't really heard too. I don't really know football too much, so I don't know. Like, I don't have a lot of football friends that play college, so that I actually talk to. I know people, but I don't really talk to any of them. But I don't talk to anybody in general. But in general, I heard this one. I saw this one video of this guy who was too underweight in the first year of college, and he came back, and the coach was like, "How much did you eat?" Because he gained like 80 pounds in like 6 months, and he became so fat, and he ended up becoming one of the best players in college football. I think so, like that. I don't know. That's what I'm assuming. That's what I read in the comments. Maybe they could be lying and we should just be trolling, but that's what I read. So that's the thing as well. A lot of the athletes will soon begin to realize that this D1 hype isn't really worth it. The same thing as lacrosse. Like, some people will quit lacrosse after their first year because they realize that in lacrosse as well, it's like, at least in wrestling, it's strength. Like, the more strength you gain, like, the better you are. So if you can continue to grow with that strength. In lacrosse, it's about like skill, technique, and all this sort of stuff. So it's really hard to like really progress and try to beat off the seniors that have the more level than you. So you see a lot of the freshmen, they'll quit because it's not worth it. And there's a lot of politics, and in any D1 sport, there's a ton of politics. Like, it's just in general. It's just in general, college wrestling, in college sports, but in D1 sports, they're not putting some random guy into a D1 match. I've wrestled on live against D1 teams before, and I can tell you, the only reason why I was put there was because I was a name that was known. Not really, but I was a good enough name. Like, I had like decent levels of height. Not high. Oh my god. Yeah, I had a decent level. Like, I had a good come up story and something like that. I don't even know exactly the reason why they wanted to bet on me so much. Why they showed me so much support. Maybe I had good potential. Don't know the exact reason. Maybe some people know about my whole come up story, my whole thing, and they're like, yeah, he could be really a story that could be like, because it's a long story, but a lot of stuff happened to me when I was, so just in general, I can understand why they're not gonna throw anybody into a D1 match. They're just not. Or a D1, like, lacrosse match, basketball match. You are not getting put in. There's so much politics in basketball. It is crazy. Sure, there's some in football, lacrosse, in wrestling, everything like that. But basketball, the politics there are crazy. That's next level crazy. That's like insane. From what I heard, I've never played basketball on a team, so I cannot really confirm 100%. But that's what I heard. Yeah, now I'm heading back almost. So yeah, that's overall what I wanted to really talk about today. That's something I really saw in my first year. I have a lot of stuff that I can talk about. I'll probably get my insights more instead of just talking about my day, really, because I do talk about my day, but like at the same time, I can give a ton of insight and everything into all that and teach you lessons about that. No one's really watching this right now, but maybe in the future it could get played back and people can see it and really understand my point of view and everything, really. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter really what division you're in. If you're having fun, that's all that really matters. Because after your college sport's over, I can talk about it next time, probably in the next video, how a lot of athletes adjust to the whole life after college, and maybe keep building on from there and stuff like that. Maybe build this to a whole like series where it can connect, and maybe that's how I can build onto this more and be able to talk, because I really enjoy talking here. Like, this is a way I can pass the time. Like, I've been driving for, let's say, 50 minutes now, and I don't even think a single time has passed. Like, I don't feel like it was even a while because I'm talking here and just overall being able to talk to somebody. So, way to have a friend. Why are there so much garbage cans on the road? But yeah, I'll probably talk about that next time. Just in general, it's all about having fun, improving yourself, being the best version of yourself, being a good role model, being a good person, just and being overall just the best person in your environment, like just helping out other people. That's all that really matters in sport. You have a huge responsibility, and you have a choice to either use it the right way or the wrong way. So, yeah, that's another day. Just another day improving myself. Just gotta keep growing as a person. Yeah, that's it.